G'day everyone, welcome to a video in which we're going to have a look at MyWhoosh version 3.7, which has freshly come out today. So I'm going to go through some of the key updates that I've found and look at some of the menus. So first of all, just logging into the game here. Jumping on the bike now, one thing that is new for me here is the Direct Connect logo up in green is working, which is good. I think having the 10 Hz race mode possibility can only be a good thing with some of the responsiveness issues that have been there previously. Not sure if they'll work to fix those, but yeah, as I say, can't be a bad thing. So we've connected up to all our devices here and just heading into the login screen. All my coins and levels are reflected in the game still, which is great, and I can see some stuff in the menu. So going into events, nothing's really changed from previous. All looks pretty similar there. So going to head into the workouts. You got the live fitness workouts there, where you can be taken through those videos, which is good. Heading into the world section, so you can see we've got a couple of new worlds. So California and Hudariyat, not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but we've obviously got some new routes in there which look pretty interesting. So I'm gonna just have a quick look at some of the new route options that we have as possibilities in game now. All a range of distances and elevations. Now, one that interested me having a look at was the velodrome, but it's a 15-kilometer circuit, so I wasn't really sure what that was all about. We have a look at that later in the video. We've got some of the California routes here we're going through. We've got LA, a bit of Hollywood, bit of Alcatraz, San Francisco type stuff, which is pretty cool. Now, just a quick note here, I have downloaded the simple version of the app, so the graphics are probably not as good as they were before. So just quickly, power gems and coins. We've got a new kind of currency there, so maybe we can buy some things. Heading into stats, awards and achievements, nothing's changed there yet. I imagine there'll be more achievements with the new routes coming to the game really soon. All the display stuff there, so as you can see, the Direct Connect, no change there. I will talk briefly about that, the MyWhoosh easy specs version in a moment. There's the calendar, nothing's changed. Into the garage, now there are a few cool items here, some new bikes, some new apparel. Just going down to the bottom here, how cool is that? Poggy's pink bike from the Giro. That's a $100,000 purchase, which could happen. I've got the coins to do it. Back into the wheel set, we've also got his nice pink touch wheels here, 50k for those that want to get amongst it. Some new apparel in the store as well, which is always nice. Not too many new jerseys that I saw, but there were a couple in there, I think. There's a Radiance and a Desert Sands kind of range by the looks of it. So some gems. I don't have any gems. I'm not sure how to get gems. We've got some Velo kicks in there, so that's a new addition to the range. So we'll figure out how we get gems and whether they're just buy only, which I hope they're not, because probably won't be buying gems. Now, one of the things that stands out here is the MyBunch 24/7, which kind of like the pacer bots on Zwift. We've got a range of them on a range of routes. Now, my banner's in the way here, but it has more information down the bottom. And I think I'm going to start the ride jumping into one of those. So going to jump on the 2.8 pacer in downtown LA. So we're going to load up the game and get into it. Now, while it loads up, just quickly, there are two versions of MyWhoosh. There's a computer heavy one, which I have previously operated with, which has, honestly, the graphics are really good on that version. The only difference on on this version that I'm running here is that the graphics aren't quite as good, and so it doesn't need quite as good a device to run. But I don't think I'm going to be requiring those high-end graphics, so I'm happy for now to try this version. But if you do have a high-end computer, then your graphic look here will probably be quite a lot more advanced and sharper. So jumping into the group, we've got a pedal assist here for a minute while I just sort my headphones and all that kind of stuff. And you can see we've got some bots here, some German bots, Serena, Owen, Matteo, Alba, all seem to be around the group. And then I think that the main one might be called Michael, from memory. There's the little draft gauge. Okay, we are on. So the green in the wattage is suggesting that we're in the draft. Oh, 6 meters back, now we're out of it. So I've got to push hard to get back into the draft quite early on, up into the 4 watt per kilo range. So part of the reason why I started with this was to kind of get a feel for how the dynamics are operating at the moment. Michael's our man there. He's riding along at 2.8 watts per kilogram. So you can see me hovering around somewhere around that same range as Michael, 2.8, 3, a bit less here and there. My thinking was, can I sit in this group at significantly less watts per kilo than Michael? As you can on the Zwift pacer rides when the pacer bot doesn't have any draft. So you can often sit with a Coco type bunch at about 2 watts per kilo just over on Zwift. I wondered if I could sit in the draft at a lot less than 2.8 here, which doesn't seem to be the case. Now, my two kind of initial thoughts to that was, one, is it because I'm lighter than the pacer bot, and so I am doing less watts, but because I'm lighter it requires me to do about 2.8 watts per kilo? Or is Michael also receiving draft here? So we're both kind of doing that 2.8 watts per kilo, kind of similar to how Coco receives draft off riders in front. I do have a bit of a look through the screen there and click onto Michael, and Michael appeared to be not drafting, or his watts weren't green. So I'm still unsure, and I have heard from a few people that the drafting in race has been a little bit like an individual time trial in a way, where there's not a massive amount of draft to be saved. But a quick note on that, later in the ride I was just free roaming and sitting behind a random bot, and I was able to do a lot less wattage than they were in the wheel. So still a few questions that I'm a bit unsure about there, but for now just kind of getting used to some of the dynamics. Again, I'd imagine here that my average would have to be somewhere around the 2.8 watts per kilo. So, on first impression, if you want to average what the advertised wattage is, then this is a really great way to do that. Whereas on Zwift, if you join the 2.6 watt per kilo group, you can have any kind of experience depending on who's in the group, from 2 watts per kilo, probably almost up to close to 3 watts per kilo, depending on who's pushing the pace, how many there are, your weight, and all those kinds of things. So having a quick look at some of the dynamics, a lot of times I get pushed out of the draft even when I'm next to a rider, and that 6-7 meter thing appears, which is interesting. There we go. Look, there's now riders ahead. Okay, back into the draft. So a lap of the downtown LA is 6 kilometers. So as you can see up the top there, I'm 17% of the way through that. I started the ride probably about a K from the start line. And now we're going through this little village here, which is kind of interesting, some cartoony type feel. I'm sure some people would probably have more of an idea as to what this kind of represents and why, but it's quite cool. About to lose the draft again, so gonna have to work to get back on. Starting to heat up a little bit in the room here as we head through. So that's probably mostly what I wanted to discuss about this ride. Yeah, probably my summary from this part of the ride is that, you know, if you want a 2.8 watt per kilo ride, this is probably exactly where you're going to get it on average, and it's a good place to practice with the current drafting dynamics and that kind of thing. Even though I still have those somewhat unanswered questions about the bots drafting and that kind of thing. So my next commentary, I'll add a timestamp so you can go and have a look at that. But for now, I'll leave the downtown LA route rolling. So if you want to have a look through, feel free. And if not, feel free to skip to somewhere later in the video where I do another 15k route, including the velodrome.
I will get my drink on tonight. I'ma get loose, get wild. If you're not in the mood right now, honey, don't kill my vibe. I will get my drink on tonight. I'ma get loose, get wild. If you're not in the mood right now, honey, don't kill my vibe. I'm gonna party until I drop. When I begin, I don't know how to stop. I can party on till the morning comes, till the sun goes up. We don't stop, no. I see you looking at me, but you don't stand a chance, you see. You don't know how to act. I'm looking for class. Can you please take a step back? I will get my drink on tonight. I'ma get loose, get wild. If you're not in the mood right now, honey, don't kill my vibe. I will get my drink on tonight. I'ma get loose, get wild. If you're not in the mood right now, honey, don't kill my vibe. I'm gonna party until I drop. I'm not looking for love, I'm looking for fun. Just because I have on skin tight jeans doesn't mean I need a my vibe, my vibe, my vibe, my vibe, my vibe. Hey stupid, you think I want ya just because I am a woman. Hey stupid, I don't want ya, but you're way too dumb to see. I will get my drink on tonight. I'ma get loose, get wild. If you're not in the mood right now, and it don't kill my vibe. I will get my drink on tonight. I'ma get loose, get wild. If you're not in the mood right now, and it don't kill my vibe. I will get my drink on tonight. I'ma get loose, get wild. If you're not in the mood right now, and it don't kill my vibe. I will get my drink on tonight. I'ma get loose, get wild. If you're not in the mood right now, and it don't kill my vibe. My vibe.
Just coming into the finish of the route, and we do get a tick in game, but no achievement yet. I imagine that they'll be included in game pretty soon. So you can see there lap 2, starting to get a feel for some of the drafting and that kind of thing. The bots for the most part are able to stick together, and as you can see on the right, they vary their wattage a little bit to stay with each other. So obviously some kind of formula there. They're doing a bit less and then a bit more depending on where they're positioned in that pack. Just going to end this ride at the 15-minute mark, quarter of an hour, and then see what happens. So, activity uploaded, no dramas to Strava and all that kind of thing. It's obviously what you want. Back into the home screen, and we're going to check out another free ride route. And I'm going to go and have a look at the velodrome. See what that's all about. So we've got a 15k circuit. For the most part, this was pretty standard riding on my own, quite boring. So I will skip through most of this at high speed. It's pretty stock standard. If you're running the higher end version, the graphics are probably a bit better than these ones, which I didn't have any issues with them. Probably the most important thing here is the velodrome on this world. It's there, but it is currently not an option to ride. So if we head into the first few minutes, we very quickly get into the velodrome part of the route. And okay, so heading into the velodrome now after a couple of minutes. You can see turning left into the MyWhoosh velodrome. You can see it on the mini map. I thought we might just go in and do a lap as part of the 15k route that we're on. Wasn't the case. So the velodrome climb KOM, we're starting that now. You can see on the elevation map that we're about to go uphill for a little bit. We've got some winding green roads around the outside of a velodrome, as you can see next to us. I thought we might, as I said, spiral into the velodrome, but that wasn't to be. Climbing up the velodrome, all the resistance and that kind of thing feels as it should. 5%, you're just starting to get a little bit more resistance under the legs. You can see the cadence has dropped a little bit. We're heading higher on the velodrome. Basically this little climb just takes you up to the top of the velodrome and spirals back down. So I imagine there'll be some purpose for this velodrome at some stage that we can access, but for now it doesn't appear that we can. Didn't mind this little climb up to the velodrome. Around the top was a little bit confusing with the ups, downs, backs and forths, but yeah, no real concerns. But I was a little bit disappointed that I couldn't actually get onto the drome to see what it was all about. View from the top. The ETAs on the segments are still based on speed, not power, so they are clearly well off, which is not great, but that's okay. Heading up to the top of the climb here, and we are done. Segment leaderboard will come up, and we will head back down this little climb, descent, then into the rest of the ride. Nothing much of note until right at the end where I do a bit of drafting, so I'll probably stop it there and add a quick timestamp. But for the rest, we'll just speed up. So if you want to have a look at some of the world here, you can. If not, then all good. I also rode a lap around San Francisco before. Again, I enjoyed that. That was quite dynamic with a few little ups and downs, which I like for my riding. So it's not just flat looking at free riding around the screen with not much to do, which, to be honest, this ride ended up being quite a bit of a drag, just free riding on the flat for 25 minutes or so. So finishing lap 1, no achievement yet, but we do have the tick, as you'll see later. Now I'm just getting onto the back of a bot here, Muhammad Al Mansouri, holding a steady 2.4 watts per kilo. I thought I might test to see if I had a different experience to what I did with the bunch bot ride. So just up into his wheel now, and the goal was to see whether I could sit in his wheel at a lot less than 2.4, and from a feeling wise, I think absolutely that was the case. You can see me dropping down into the ones, back up to kind of match that raise, but for the most part I'm pretty confident that I'm averaging quite a bit under 2.4, which is a difference to the experience with the pacer bot ride. There's a little bit of ups and downs to try and sit in that draft, but for the most part I'm pretty confident that this section is significantly less than 2.4 watts per kilogram. So again, I'm not sure how that can be explained, whether it's there's some drafting between the bots in that bunch, or whether it's a weight thing, or what the deal is with that. But as I say, definitely feel like I'm probably averaging sub 2 watts per kilo to hold on to this fella's wheel here. All subjective though, could be completely wrong. Having a look, 2.4 for him is 182. Whereas for me, 2.4 is around probably 150, I think. And so on the flat, obviously, I feel like, yeah, probably averaging 130 to stay in old mate's wheel there. So I'm going to can the ride at the 30-minute mark as we head into the velodrome again. And then I'll end the video and go through and have a look at the route completions, and then after this, as I said, I did a little ride in San Francisco, which I really enjoyed, can recommend. But thanks for watching. If you got any feedback yourself or any questions, let us know in the comments.
Don't run into the cops, that's the motto. I don't see it coming to an end like legato. Niggas get chipped like staccato, send a wave through the hood, now sounding like vibrato. Why you eat bread with avocado? We be trying to dodge shells before it landing on tomato. Singing all my sorrows on Apollo, I've been trying to pave the way, but they didn't tell me it was potholes. America ain't dreaming, it been scheming when the birth of a nation came from black niggas seeming. We all know it's black nigga genius, everybody love the culture, they be black by convenience.
Hold on, my nigga, you talking way too much conscious shit. Nobody wanna hear that shit. Nigga, speak about some hoes or some money or shit. Nigga, I don't want to hear that shit. Nigga, I'm not saying don't rap how you rap, my nigga, but make some shit we can vibe to.
Sounding like a real nigga anthem. Shawty saw my wallet, now she think a nigga answer. Whoa, telling me she wanted me to hammer. Trying to get saved, baby, I am not the answer. No, I can never trick on the bitch, unless the bitch is my bitch with a kiss on my lips like, I am not a pimp with a limp, I'm a man with a gift, and I'm doing my shit like, Tell them other niggas I'm the nigga, I'm the man in the city, and my bank account bigger, and my body count bigger, that's without a doubt, nigga. I'm 100 steps ahead, that's a lot of mouth, nigga, that's a lot of clout, nigga. What you all about, nigga? What your dollar amount, nigga? You a boy scout, nigga, I'm a big dog. Tell the truth, I don't get y'all, the shit sounding corny. Motherfucker, turn this shit off, bro. I can't rap how everybody else rap, bro. Everybody talking about hoes, cars, clothes, chains, and money. That shit corny as fuck, bro. On God, I don't want to rap about